Hello, students. Mrs. Johnston here, and we are going to continue with our unit on plants, and we are on lesson 2. Remember that plants are living things. Can you recall what plants and all other living things need? Did you respond and say food, water, air, and light? If you did, you listened very well in yesterday's read aloud and science. Living things also reproduce or create more of themselves. I am going to read a list of things, some that are living and some that are not. If what you name is alive, I want you to say blank is living. If what I name is not alive, I want you to say that item is non-living. Here is an example. Our first item is desk. So I'm going to respond back with a desk is non-living. How about you try tree? Is a tree living or non-living? Did you say a tree is living? If you did, you were right. Plus, you used a complete sentence. How about a pencil? Did you respond with a pencil is non-living? Let's try this next one. Rose bush. Did you say a rose bush is living? What about a mouse? Did you say a mouse is living? What about paper? Did you tell me that paper is non-living? I hope that you got some or all of those answers correct. We're going to continue to recall and work with living and non-living in this unit. Plants, like other living things, reproduce or make more of themselves. Is that answer yes or no? Did you tell me yes? If you answered yes, you were right. Before we begin our science and story lesson, there's some information that we need to learn about first. Students, did you know that there are many different kinds of plants? And that, like people, plants come in different shapes and sizes. They have different names and they live and grow in different places. In much the same way that people are similar and have similar features, so do plants. All plants have similar parts to them. We are going to learn about the features of plants and what parts are the same among all plants. While you are listening today, I want you to listen carefully to the read aloud to learn more about the different parts of plants and how these different plant parts use nutrients for food, water, air, and light. Can you tell me, what do you see in the picture you are looking at? Did you say a flower? Or maybe you knew it was a sunflower. I bet you some of you said, I see leaves and stems, roots. You are very smart. Even though there are many, many different kinds of plants living in our world, all plants need nutrients or food, water, air, and light. And most plants also have similar basic parts. They have roots, stems, leaves, flowers, and seeds. Leaves are the parts of the plant that make the food for the plant. Take a look at this sunflower. The parts of the plant you see down here, if we look at the bottom, are the roots. The roots of the plant are covered with soil. So when we see plants growing in nature, we usually aren't able to see the roots unless we take the plants out of the ground. The plant's roots reach down into the soil and grow underground. They help to hold the plant in place in the soil. But most important, the roots take up water and nutrients or food that are in the soil. Nutrients help plants grow and stay healthy, just like vitamins help you grow and stay healthy. The water and nutrients move through the roots up into the stem of the plant, which holds the plant. This is the stem. If you can see my arrow, this is the stem. As the water and nutrients travel up the plant, they are able to reach other parts of the plant, like the leaves. The leaves are the part of the plant that are attached to and grow out from the stem. The leaves are usually green, but they can be other colors as well. Many plants have flowers, which are also called blossoms. Look at the blossoms on this sunflower plant. Around the outside, it has many bright yellow petals. The flower petals of different plants come in every color you can imagine. Now look in the center part of the sunflower blossom, the part that has many petals around it. This part of the plant is made up of many small seeds. One sunflower seed is only about the size of your fingernail. If the seeds of the sunflower plant are put into the soil, they will make a new sunflower plant. Sometimes people eat the seeds from the plants. You may have tasted a sunflower seed yourself. Even though most plants have the same basic parts, roots, a stem, leaves, flowers, and seeds, these parts may look different on different kinds of plants. These beautiful flowers are from many different kinds of plants. Did you notice that not only are the colors of the flower different, but the flower petals are different and different shapes on each flower as well? What do you see in this picture? Did you say a tree, a field, grass, the sky, flowers in the tree? You might have given all of those examples, or maybe just one. This apple tree has the same parts as the other plants we have seen. We can't see any apples because this picture was taken in the spring when the blossoms or flowers come out. The apples will start growing in the summer and will be ready for picking in the fall. We can't see the roots of the apple tree because they are growing underground, but we can see several other parts. We can see many stems on the tree. See the arrow pointing? The arrow is pointing to the stems on the tree. We can see branches on the tree. Do you see the apple blossoms and the leaves? The apple blossoms are the white flower, and the leaves are green. There are many, many leaves attached to the branches on this apple tree. The largest part of the tree is called the trunk. The outside of the trunk is covered in bark. Bark is kind of like clothing for trees. It protects the inside of the tree. What do you think this bark feels like? Did you respond with bumpy, rough, pokey? Those are all ways you could describe what the bark feels like. Here are some leaves from different kinds of trees. Take a close look, and you will notice that the leaves have different shapes. In fact, one way to tell what kind of a tree you are looking at is to closely look at the leaves. The leaf on the top left, right here, is from a sugar maple tree. The leaf below it, the one right here, this is from a white oak tree. The leaf up here on the right side, this is from a witch hazel tree. And the leaf below that is from a black oak tree. Remember, many plants, not just trees, have leaves. In fact, leaves are especially important to the survival of the plants. This means the leaves are especially important, making sure that the plants stay alive. When light shines on the green leaves of any plant, the leaves absorb or soak up energy from the light through an amazing process called photosynthesis. Can you say that big word with me? Photosynthesis. The leaf uses the light to turn the water and air already in the plant into food for the rest of the plant. Do you remember earlier that we said the roots and stems of a plant move water and nutrients from the soil to the other parts of a plant, such as the leaves? During photosynthesis, water, nutrients, air, and light come together in the plant's leaves. This is how plants make food for themselves. It's a good thing too, because plants can't move like animals or people, so they aren't able to go find food somewhere else. Plants have to make food for themselves. Once the water and nutrients are made into food through photosynthesis, parts of the leaves called the veins, these are the veins right here, the little lines, these veins carry the food back to the stem. From here, food is taken to the rest of the plant where it is needed. Now you have learned about most of the basic parts of many plants. Plants begin as seeds, which sprout and grow roots, stems, leaves, and then flowers. The roots, stems, and leaves work together with water, nutrients, air, and light to make food for the plant through photosynthesis. Say the word 3 times with me to help you remember it. Photosynthesis. 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 All right, boys and girls, I'm going to ask you some questions to see if you were listening to the details of the story and can recall what we discussed. I'm going to point to a part on my flower, and I want to see if you can tell me what that part is called. Look at where my arrow is moving. What part of the plant is this? Did you say the roots of the plant? If you responded roots, well done. What part is this that moves up? What is this part of the plant called? Did you say stem? The stem is responsible for taking nutrients to other parts of the plant, for holding the plant upright. What part of the flower are these called? Or the plant called? Did you remember that they are the leaves? If you said leaves, great job. The leaves are responsible for photosynthesis. They make the food for the plant. And how about this part, this outer part of the plant? What are they called? Did you say the petals or the blossom? It is the flowering part of the plant. How about in the middle? What part of the plant is this called? Did you say it's the center or it's where the seeds are stored? Great job on recalling the parts of the plant. What would happen if a plant didn't have roots? Did you respond that it wouldn't be able to take in water or that it wouldn't be able to get the nutrients if it didn't have roots? What do the roots do? Did you say that the roots keep a plant in the ground and that they take in the water and the nutrients for the plant? So, what would happen if a plant didn't have a stem? Did you say that if a plant didn't have a stem, it would fall over? It wouldn't be able to move the water and the nutrients from the stem, from the roots to the rest of the parts of the plant? So, what does the stem do? Did you say that the stem supports the plant and moves water and nutrients to the rest of the plant? The stem is what holds the plant up. What would happen if a plant didn't have leaves? Did you say if the plant didn't have leaves, it wouldn't be able to make the food for itself? So, what do leaves do? Did you say that the leaves make the food for the plant? Do you remember that special word we practice? Did you say photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the leaves, the process of the leaves making the food for the plant. I hope you enjoyed our story today.